Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the explosive tensions brewing in Port Charles for Wednesday, October 29th, where old flames flicker dangerously close to reigniting and hidden agendas unravel family empires. In the heart of Port Charles, Curtis Ashford finds himself in a raw, emotional confrontation with his ex-wife, Jordan Ashford, as he lays bare his soul amid the ruins of their past. Having recently navigated the turbulent waters of his crumbling marriage to Portia Robinson, Curtis insists that Jordan bears no blame for the fractures that led to his current divorce proceedings, issues he attributes solely to his own missteps during their time together. He extends a heartfelt apology, recounting the specific betrayals and oversights that shattered their once solid bond, from overlooked anniversaries that symbolize deeper neglect to heated arguments fueled by his undercover work pulling him away from family life. Yet, as tears stream down Jordan's face, revealing layers of unresolved longing, she grapples with the magnetic pull toward reconciliation, a path Curtis has tentatively proposed once his divorce papers are fully inked. Jordan confesses that this reunion has haunted her dreams for years, a fantasy of reclaiming the stability they lost amid the chaos of police duties and personal ambitions. But in a moment of steely resolve, she pulls back, declaring she cannot cross that threshold, her voice cracking under the weight of unspoken fears about repeating old patterns. Curtis, bewildered and pressing for clarity, demands to know the invisible barrier holding her at bay. Could it be lingering doubts about his commitment, the shadow of Portia's lingering presence, or Jordan's own career-driven independence that now defines her? As the scene unfolds in the dimly lit confines of a quiet cafe overlooking the harbor, where the salty sea air mirrors their turbulent emotions, viewers can't help but wonder if this vulnerability will bridge their divide or widen the chasm forever, especially with Jordan's role as police commissioner demanding unflinching focus amid rising threats in the city. Meanwhile, across town in the stern atmosphere of the police commissioner's office, Jack Brennan delivers a cryptic bombshell to Anna Devane, his words slicing through the tension like a sharpened blade. Whatever access or information she seeks has been firmly denied. Speculation runs wild that this denial ties directly to Anna's thwarted attempts to visit Valentine Cassadine in custody, a move Jack previously blocked by misleading Valentine into believing Anna had washed her hands of him entirely. Anna, ever the relentless investigator with her trademark blend of espionage savvy and unyielding curiosity, has been knee-deep in unraveling the near-fatal attack on Drew Kane, piecing together clues from shadowy figures and forensic traces that point to corporate sabotage intertwined with personal vendettas. Her probe extends to the cold-blooded murder of Judge Eva Heron, whose rulings had rattled powerful players in Port Charles's elite circles, leaving behind a trail of falsified documents and anonymous threats that Anna suspects link back to international syndicates. But Anna's deepest fixation lies with Caesar Faison's enigmatic final project, a web of deceit that inexplicably brought two of his children back from apparent graves, perhaps through elaborate fake deaths, advanced medical interventions, or even cryogenic experiments hidden in offshore labs. Valentine, with his intimate knowledge of Faison's machinations and his own ties to the criminal underbelly, holds the keys to these puzzles, from encrypted files detailing resurrection protocols to confessions about family loyalties tested by resurrection's moral quandaries. Jack's intervention, delivered with a cool detachment that hints at ulterior motives, seems designed to shield Valentine or protect a larger conspiracy, forcing Anna to pivot to alternative sources like hacking into WSB archives or enlisting trusted allies for covert surveillance. This standoff not only heightens Anna's isolation but raises stakes for the entire investigation, as delays could allow the perpetrators to cover their tracks, potentially endangering more lives in Port Charles's precarious power plays. Shifting gears to the opulent yet fractured world of the Quartermaine dynasty, Martin Gray arrives at the sprawling Quartermaine mansion with a briefcase full of ambition and a silver tongue ready to sway Ronnie Bard into an unexpected real estate deal. Tasked by Drew Kane, Martin positions himself as the ultimate dealmaker, armed with meticulously prepared documents that outline a lucrative purchase of the estate, complete with quasi-legal loopholes to expedite the transaction and tax advantages tailored to Ronnie's financial profile. He paints a vivid picture of the mansion's untapped potential under Drew's vision, a modernized hub for business ventures blending Quartermaine legacy with innovative startups, while downplaying any emotional attachments Ronnie might have. Ronnie, eyeing the papers with a mix of skepticism and intrigue, appears unmoved at first, her expression betraying calculations about leverage and long-term gains in Port Charles's cutthroat property market. Martin, undeterred, leverages his charm and insider knowledge, perhaps revealing tidbits about Ronnie's recent investments or suggesting bonuses like retained family heirlooms, confident he can flip her reluctance into enthusiasm. But as negotiations heat up in the grand living room lined with antique portraits that whisper of past Quartermaine triumphs and scandals, the question looms: will Martin's pitch crumble under Ronnie's shrewd scrutiny, or will it catalyze a seismic shift in the family's holdings, forcing Drew to confront the ghosts of ELQ's turbulent history while Ronnie cashes in on her bold eviction tactics? At the elegant Metro Court restaurant, where crystal chandeliers cast a golden glow over linen-draped tables, Ned Quartermaine shares a tense yet advisory moment with his formidable mother, Tracy Quartermaine, urging her to abandon her current strategy and embrace her innate cunning instead. Ned's counsel centers on Ronnie's manipulative maneuvers, which have already upended Tracy's life by evicting her from the family estate without a single protest from kin, leaving her temporarily bunkered at Lulu Spencer's home amid stacks of unpacked boxes and the clamor of unexpected domesticity. Tracy, nursing a glass of vintage Chardonnay, listens intently as Ned dissects Ronnie's game, a calculated power grab disguised as business savvy, exploiting Quartermaine vulnerabilities like internal squabbles and outdated trusts to seize control. He implores Tracy to counter with her signature ruthlessness, deploying legal maneuvers from the family vault, rallying overlooked allies, or even leaking compromising intel on Ronnie's dealings to regain the upper hand. This advice arrives fashionably late, as Ned himself held back from intervening earlier, perhaps entangled in his own ELQ boardroom battles or blinded by familial loyalty's illusions. Yet, in this pivotal exchange, Ned's words ignite a spark in Tracy's eyes, hinting at a comeback plot that could involve shadowy partnerships or explosive revelations about Ronnie's past alliances, transforming her displacement from defeat to a strategic retreat and reaffirming the Quartermaines' unbreakable resilience against interlopers. Finally, the episode builds to a charged interrogation as Jason Morgan confronts Carly Spencer with palpable frustration, his questions piercing the air like accusations in their familiar yet strained dynamic. Carly, caught off guard by Jason's intensity, recoils as he probes why she's exerting every effort to sidestep him, her evasion tactics, from dodged calls to abrupt exits, now laid bare in a sunlit park where autumn leaves swirl like unresolved secrets. Jason's upset stems from vindication. His early warnings about Jack Brennan's untrustworthiness proved spot on, from Brennan's evasive WSB connections to the peril he unwittingly drew into Carly's orbit, including the risky undercover ops that endangered Jocelyn Jacks. Carly's reluctance to engage might mask her embarrassment over ignoring Jason's instincts, a pattern rooted in their history of clashing over loyalties and blind spots in romance. Alternatively, subtle manipulations could be at play, perhaps Brennan's subtle influences or unseen adversaries stoking discord to isolate Jason from his support network, turning what seems like avoidance into a fabricated rift. As Jason presses for truth, his stone-cold gaze softening only slightly with concern, the scene teases deeper layers. Will Carly admit her misjudgment, leading to a mended alliance against brewing threats, or will defenses rise, prolonging the tension and exposing fractures in Port Charles's tightest bonds? This clash not only spotlights Jason's protective instincts but underscores Carly's evolution, balancing fierce independence with the pull of old trusts in a city rife with deception. Next, we dive deep into the escalating tensions surrounding Detective Harrison Chase's fixation on Willow Corinthos and the cracks it's carving into his once idyllic marriage to Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. In the glittering world of Port Charles, few love stories have captivated fans quite like the slow-burn romance between Harrison Chase and Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. What began as an unlikely friendship forged in the chaos of deception and family secrets blossomed into something profoundly tender during their impromptu stint as pretend parents to the adorable Bailey Lou. Picture this: Chase, the stoic detective with a heart of gold, and Brooke Lynn, the fiery music producer with a Quartermaine edge, navigating diaper changes and lullabies under one roof. Those stolen glances and shared laughs masked deeper emotions that neither dared to voice at first. But fate, ever the dramatist in General Hospital, pushed them together. One fateful evening, amid a storm of confessions and candlelit dinners, they finally admitted their undeniable chemistry. Their wedding was a spectacle of elegance and emotion, white roses cascading down the aisle, vows exchanged under a canopy of stars, with the entire town bearing witness to their happily ever after. Brooke Lynn stood by Chase like a rock when grief struck with his father Gregory's sudden passing, holding him through sleepless nights and whispered memories of lost adventures. Their bond seemed unbreakable, a beacon of stability in the whirlwind of Port Charles intrigue. Yet, even paradise has its shadows. When medical tests revealed Chase's heartbreaking inability to father children naturally, the couple faced their first real trial, exploring options like adoption and surrogacy while reaffirming their love's resilience. Brooke Lynn's own revelation of a hidden teen pregnancy from her wild youth added another layer of vulnerability, forcing them to confront societal judgments and personal regrets. Through therapy sessions laced with tears and triumphs, they emerged stronger, vowing to build a family on trust rather than biology. Fans cheered their perseverance, seeing in them a modern fairy tale where love conquers all obstacles. But as with every soap saga, the plot thickens, and recent episodes hint at storm clouds gathering on their horizon. Lately, however, the fairy tale feels more like a fading dream, with Chase and Brooke Lynn drifting like vessels in the foggy Port Charles harbor, barely acknowledging each other's presence. Their once vibrant home, filled with inside jokes and spontaneous dances to Brooke Lynn's latest tracks, now echoes with silence and unspoken frustrations. Chase, ever the protector, has poured his energy into a cause that hits perilously close to his past, Willow's desperate battle for vindication. While Brooke Lynn juggles the relentless drama of the Quartermaine mansion, feuding heirs, corporate takeovers, and Tracy's latest scheming machinations, her husband slips away into the night, his mind miles away in a dimly lit prison visiting room. She dismisses his late hours as work-related, perhaps a high-profile case demanding his detective skills, oblivious to the emotional tether pulling him toward the woman who once shattered his world. Inventing a new layer to this rift, imagine Brooke Lynn confiding in her best friend Lois about vague worries, only to brush them off as paranoia from the Q family's toxicity. Meanwhile, Chase returns home disheveled, his badge polished but his eyes distant, replaying conversations with Willow that stir old flames he thought extinguished. This disconnect isn't just logistical, it's emotional erosion, where shared meals turn into solo affairs and bedtime stories for Bailey become afterthoughts. As viewers, we can't help but analyze how these parallel lives, his heroism clashing with her domestic battles, foreshadow a potential implosion, testing the very foundations they fought so hard to lay. To understand Chase's preoccupation, we must rewind to his electric history with Willow Corinthos, a pairing that promised eternal bliss but crumbled under the weight of betrayal. Back when Willow was a fresh face in Port Charles, teaching at the local school and hiding her own secrets, she and Chase were the epitome of young love, stolen kisses in the park, dreams of a quiet life away from the Corinthos drama, and unwavering support during her early struggles with identity. They were the couple everyone envied, with Chase's chivalrous nature complementing Willow's quiet strength, painting a picture of domestic harmony amid the soap's chaos. He saw in her a partner who grounded his high-stakes job, while she admired his unyielding sense of justice. But tragedy struck when Willow, torn by unspoken loyalties and the magnetic pull of Michael Corinthos, succumbed to an affair that left Chase reeling. The revelation hit like a gut punch during a tense confrontation at the Metro Court, where accusations flew and hearts broke in real time. Chase, the picture of composure, masked his devastation with workaholic tendencies, patrolling Port Charles streets while nursing wounds that ran deeper than any bullet. Willow's choice not only ended their romance but scarred him, teaching a harsh lesson in vulnerability. Fast forward to now, and that old scar has reopened with a vengeance. Willow's entanglement in a web of corporate espionage and false accusations, perhaps tied to a fabricated evidence scandal involving ELQ rivals, has landed her behind bars, her innocence hanging by a thread. Chase, unable to shake his innate drive to right wrongs, has transformed into her fiercest advocate, clashing with prosecutors in heated courtroom sidebars and rallying allies like Dante and Sonny to unearth hidden truths. This crusade has Chase crossing lines he never imagined, from clandestine meetings with shady informants to poring over case files until dawn, all while Willow's plight mirrors the helplessness he felt years ago. Adding inventive depth, envision a pivotal scene where Chase sneaks a care package into the prison, books on resilience, her favorite herbal teas, and shares a vulnerable moment about forgiveness, blurring the boundaries of exes and allies. His obsession isn't mere nostalgia, it's a complex cocktail of guilt, unresolved affection, and a detective's compulsion to solve the unsolvable. Willow, resilient as ever, draws strength from his visits, her eyes lighting up in ways that echo their past intimacy. Yet, this dynamic raises red flags for their future. Will his zeal blind him to the home he's neglecting? As the episodes unfold, Chase's testimony in an upcoming hearing could sway the jury, but at what cost to his current vows? Analyzing his character arc, Chase embodies the tragic hero, torn between duty and desire, his moral compass pointing toward Willow while his heart should anchor to Brooke Lynn. This internal conflict amplifies the soap's themes of redemption and second chances, keeping viewers glued to every twist. The growing chasm in the Chase-Brooke Lynn union manifests in subtle yet telling ways, underscoring how Willow's shadow looms larger with each passing day. Brooke Lynn, immersed in the Quartermaine vortex, from brokering a fragile truce between Ned and Olivia to dodging Austin's lingering advances, barely registers Chase's preoccupation. She might catch him staring at his phone, drafting messages to Willow's lawyer, but attributes it to stress rather than infatuation. Inventing a fresh element, suppose Brooke Lynn plans a surprise anniversary getaway to the countryside cabin where they first confessed their love, only for Chase to cancel last-minute, citing a lead on the case. Her confusion mounts during family dinners, where his mind wanders mid-conversation, leaving her to fill the voids with forced laughter. This obliviousness stems from Brooke Lynn's own burdens. As a new mother and career woman, she's stretched thin, perhaps confiding in Maxie about marital blues without naming the root cause. By the time she connects the dots, maybe overhearing a heated call or spotting a photo of Willow on his desk, it could be perilously late, with trust eroded beyond repair. Chase adores his wife, cherishing her wit and the family they've built, but Willow represents the elusive what-if, the road not taken that still haunts his quieter moments. Her hero-worshipping nature, honed from years of seeking saviors in Port Charles, positions her perfectly to reignite old sparks if Chase engineers her release. Imagine a celebratory dinner turning intimate, her gratitude evolving into something more. Brooke Lynn, with her unshakable spirit and loyalty, doesn't merit this brewing heartache. She's the glue holding their world together, from nurturing Bailey to championing Chase's dreams. Fans speculate wildly, could a Quartermaine intervention, spearheaded by a suspicious Ned, jolt Chase back to reality? Or might Willow's acquittal force a confrontation that either heals or shatters? As this storyline hurtles forward, one thing is clear: Port Charles is primed for emotional fireworks, with loyalties tested and hearts on the line. Next, we will learn about the explosive secrets unraveling in Port Charles for the week of October 27th, where hidden agendas and shocking twists promise to shake the foundations of the elite. The latest promo from ABC General Hospital teases a whirlwind of clandestine operations and jaw-dropping disclosures that will leave fans on the edge of their seats, diving deep into the enigmatic Five Poppies research initiative that's been shrouded in mystery since its inception. This covert project, rumored to involve groundbreaking medical experiments with potential ties to genetic enhancements and shadowy corporate funding, finally reveals its key players and the power struggles simmering beneath the surface. Viewers will witness the intricate web of alliances forming and breaking, as the operation's core mission, possibly linked to curing rare diseases or manipulating human longevity, comes under intense scrutiny amid whispers of ethical violations and international intrigue. What makes this week's revelation so compelling is how they interconnect with Port Charles's most prominent families, hinting at broader implications for characters who've long danced on the edge of morality. At the heart of the Five Poppies saga is the question of leadership, a role that's proven volatile and fraught with betrayal, especially after the devastating explosion that reduced the Croatian research facility to rubble just months ago. That catastrophic event, which claimed lives and scattered classified documents across the Adriatic coast, was initially chalked up to sabotage by rival biotech firms, but now evidence suggests internal foul play tied to profit-driven cover-ups. Despite the devastation, the project presses on in a fortified underground lab hidden in the Croatian hills, equipped with state-of-the-art cryogenic storage and AI-monitored security protocols that rival those of top-secret government installations. The promo spotlights Sidwell, the enigmatic financier with a reputation for ruthless efficiency and a shadowy past in pharmaceutical empires, as he maintains ironclad control over the venture's direction. His influence extends beyond mere funding. Insiders speculate he holds leverage over world leaders through the project's potential to weaponize medical advancements, turning cures into tools of coercion. Everything shifts dramatically this week when Sidwell, in a move that redefines the hierarchy, sidelines the faltering Professor Dalton and elevates Dr. Britt Westbourne to the forefront of the operation. Dalton, a once-respected neuroscientist whose groundbreaking work on neural mapping earned him accolades in academic circles, has apparently stumbled under the pressure, his innovative theories on synaptic regeneration failing to deliver tangible results amid escalating deadlines and budget constraints. The promo captures Britt striding into a tense boardroom confrontation with Sidwell and Dalton, her posture radiating unyielding confidence forged from years of navigating Port Charles's treacherous medical landscape. Clad in a sleek black power suit that echoes her no-nonsense demeanor, Britt's promotion isn't just a career pivot, it's a calculated risk that could either salvage the project or plunge it into chaos, given her history of clashing with authority figures like her own mother, Liesl Albrecht. Adding layers to this twist, new details emerge about Britt's recruitment. Was it a voluntary leap into the unknown, driven by her passion for cutting-edge pathology, or a coerced alliance stemming from blackmail involving her fabricated medical credentials? Speculation runs high that Britt's expertise in rare blood disorders could unlock the Five Poppies' true goal, developing a serum that reverses aging effects, a breakthrough that might explain Sidwell's obsession and the explosion's convenient timing. As Britt steps into her pivotal role, the storyline explores the human cost of ambition, with flashbacks revealing Dalton's descent into paranoia after discovering encrypted files hinting at human trials conducted without consent on vulnerable populations in Eastern Europe. Britt, ever the survivor, might uncover these dark secrets during her first week, forcing her to choose between loyalty to Sidwell's vision and her innate moral compass, potentially allying with unexpected figures like Hamilton Finn for an internal investigation. This leadership shakeup not only revitalizes the project but injects fresh tension into ongoing narratives, such as how the serum could intersect with Port Charles's fertility clinic scandals, offering redemption arcs or further downfalls for characters entangled in medical mishaps. Fans can anticipate high-stakes lab sequences filled with holographic data displays and urgent voiceovers underscoring the race against rival spies infiltrating the facility. Shifting gears to the scandalous underbelly of Port Charles society, this week's episodes deliver a bombshell exoneration that flips the script on one of the town's most divisive feuds. Ronnie Bard, the sharp-tongued socialite whose unfiltered commentary has long ruffled feathers among the elite, emerges unscathed from accusations that painted her as the villain in a high-society debacle. The promo builds suspense around an explosive confrontation where long-buried truths surface, shattering alliances and exposing the fragility of trust in the Quartermaine circle. Tracy Quartermaine, the matriarch known for her Machiavellian maneuvers and unapologetic disdain for rivals, receives the stunning news that Ronnie was framed, prompting a rare moment of vulnerability as she grapples with misplaced blame. Delving deeper into the Tipsy Tea Party fiasco that captivated viewers last month, the real orchestrator behind the drugged refreshments and ensuing chaos is unmasked in a scene dripping with dramatic irony. What began as a seemingly innocuous gathering at the Metro Court, complete with crystal teacups, delicate pastries, and veiled barbs exchanged over inheritance disputes, spiraled into a public relations nightmare when Ronnie's erratic behavior, including slurred outbursts and unsteady toasts, fueled rumors of substance abuse. Ronnie had pointed fingers squarely at Tracy, alleging a diabolical scheme to humiliate her in front of influential guests like the Cassadines and Webbers, thereby undermining Ronnie's rising influence in charitable circles. But the truth, as teased in the promo, paints a far more insidious picture. The spiking of Ronnie's Earl Grey with a potent sedative derived from black market pharmaceuticals was no petty revenge, but part of a larger conspiracy to manipulate estate matters. In a pivotal moment that will have audiences gasping, Ronnie confronts her true betrayer, Martin Gray, the silver-tongued attorney whose polished facade hides a web of deceit spanning decades. Martin, revealed through incriminating surveillance footage and a hastily deleted email trail, not only tampered with the tea to discredit Ronnie but also masterminded the forgery of Monica Quartermaine's will, altering bequests to funnel assets toward his own shadowy investments. This dual revelation adds profound depth to Martin's character, portraying him as a desperate opportunist entangled in gambling debts to international syndicates, who saw the Quartermaine fortune as his lifeline. The promo hints at a tense interrogation scene in the PCPD station, where Martin's alibi crumbles under Sonny Corintho's piercing gaze, potentially drawing in Laura Spencer as she uncovers links to her own family's legal vulnerabilities. As the dust settles, Ronnie's vindication paves the way for unlikely partnerships, perhaps teaming with Tracy to dismantle Martin's network, while exploring themes of redemption and the corrosive power of unchecked ambition in Port Charles's glittering but treacherous world. These intertwined plots promise an unforgettable week, blending high-tech espionage with intimate betrayals that redefine loyalties and propel the soap into uncharted territory, keeping viewers hooked on every whispered secret and bold declaration. Stay tuned as ABC General Hospital continues to deliver pulse-pounding drama that mirrors the complexities of real-life intrigue.